Hey everyone, I am Henry, and that is Maury on the left and Max on the right. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about YouTubers and others who give advice to other people about how to do things better. In particular, I'm thinking about people that tell us how to play Call of Duty better. Also, along the way, I might talk about Titanfall 2. This is the tech test gameplay you're seeing here. I might talk about Titanfall 2 a little bit. The gameplay here is from the Titanfall 2 tech test. I got one of my best games ever in the tech test. Good number of kills. Now, the number of kills in Titanfall 2, for me at least, is not as great as the number of kills that I get in a game of Call of Duty, but it's still action-packed and fun to play, so I still have a good time regardless of the fact that I don't get 40, 50 kills. I get much fewer than that. You'll notice there's some murmuring in the background. This was actually a game that I was playing with, actually no, I was not in the same match, but I was in the party and I was talking to Darth Taylor the Wise, I think it was, about this game. He was in a different match, and so I tried to mute that down a little bit so it doesn't bother you as much, but so sometimes you'll hear it a little bit and other times the sound will go totally down, so hope you don't mind. Okay, now the main thing I wanted to talk about is people that give instruction to other people and yet are not of the same proficiency at whatever they're trying to teach as the people that they're trying to teach. So, for example, someone that's really good at Call of Duty tries to teach somebody else how to get better at Call of Duty. That's great. Lots of YouTubers, though, seem to think that the people that they're teaching are capable of making leaps in logic that they aren't. For example, I saw a great series, I think it was by Exclusive Ace, where he talks about spawn points and spawn locations on maps and stuff like that. And knowing where the spawns are, well, that's good. You need to know that, right? But how to make use of that knowledge, that's what I struggle with. I mean, anybody can learn where the spawns are by inspecting the game and watching. But actually making use of the spawn locations to figure out what to do with that knowledge, that's the important part, and that's the part that he kind of skimped out on. One of the great things about his early videos was he would show a couple spawn locations on the map. No, not a couple, he would show all of them, and then he would show an example. Like, this is where I make use of my superior spawn knowledge. So take a look. And that was by far the most valuable part of the video to me. Just learning where all these points are. Look over here, look over there. These are points where people spawn. Well, that doesn't help me. I need to know what good that knowledge does me. And that's the part that he mostly skipped over. And I find that this is a case with lots of YouTubers when they try to teach us something. There's another YouTuber that I love his voice and I love his videos and I watch him all the time. But he often says, yeah, just do what I do here and you'll be as good as me. Yeah, well, what are you doing here that is so great? You need to teach me that. Don't just say mimic what I do. Tell me what you're doing. If I try to do what you do, I end up dying all the time. Well, how is it different when you do it? You know? And I think that YouTubers, when they teach people how to play Call of Duty better, they need to be a little bit more aware of the fact that people are not coming from the same position that they are. They are of a different skill. They don't know things. They are just not capable of making the leaps in logic, maybe. And they need to be taught step by step instead of, here, look, you need to know spawn locations, or here, look, just do what I do. That is completely unsatisfactory to me as someone that's trying to learn the game. And it's not just people that teach games on YouTube. It's all sorts of areas in life. Like, I know lots of cases where people with a type A personality, for example, would say, well, you just, after you get to know a person for 3 weeks, you build a certain rapport, and then we can go from there. And then I'm like, well, how do I get to know a person? How do I build that rapport? I'm a very, it sounds like maybe I'm a very forthright person, but I'm actually quite shy and I don't like talking to people. And so I need to learn how to get those skills. And that's what type A personality people just do automatically. And therefore they don't teach that. They just assume you know that. And it's like frustrating for us type B people. Another example is the fact that, maybe that I'm trying to create a comic strip about Call of Duty players and what they do in funny situations and whatnot. And so I'm trying to become a better artist. I know there's been a long time between updates here, but believe me, I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to come up with a way to draw these characters digitally, and I'm getting very close to releasing my first all-digital comic strip. So I am trying to become a better artist. And lots of time when I go out there and take a look at instruction videos, they say, here's how to draw a face, here's how to draw a figure. And they never actually say, well, how do you keep the proportions correct? I mean, once I have the head and body down, I can fill in the eyes and the hair and the clothes just as well as, well, not just as well as the artist that's teaching, but perfectly acceptably, that's for sure. But I always get the proportions wrong, and it always looks a little bit off, and I never see anybody talking about how to make sure you get the proportions right. That's a very basic thing about drawing, and it's where I lack, and I don't see a lot of instruction about. Every once in a while I see a video about it, but they try to teach it in a manner that just doesn't connect with me. So I think it would be great if there were some artists out there who did try to teach it properly. And you'll see two of my drawings, Maury and Max, coming up in just a second here as the game comes to a conclusion. I hope you liked this video, hope you liked the gameplay, and I hope to see you next time. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. This is Henry, over and out.